signing up to be a part of this Q&A. We're a few minutes in, so I'll go ahead and start, hoping that you're all safe and healthy and surrounded by people that you love. As you know, or may or may not know, this Q&A is part of a recent e-styling program that Nili launched. The e-styling program is personal styling, and it's coming from a desire that Nili's had for a long time to offer the opportunity for women, her clients, this community, to make the most out of her collections, to find the pieces that are perfect for them in their lifestyle and whatever else they might need. So in this crazy situation, we have an opportunity to still think about those things critically and ask ourselves what we need from the comfort of our homes. If you have not signed up for an e-styling session, would like to, after this, you'll all receive an email with a link to book an appointment. And I'll add that should you decide to buy something in this first appointment, you'll receive 15% off. Additionally, any of the pieces that are mentioned in this Q&A will be mentioned in that email, so you can make reference to them. I'll say that I'm Mia. I happen to be Nili's youngest daughter, and every now and then I help her with a project, and this happens to be one of them. And I looked with her through all of the amazing abundance of questions that were sent our way. We had a range of questions, some about cultivating personal styles, some about sizing, and we're really grateful for all those questions. And for those that we can't get to today, we're sorry, and we thought about them, considered them deeply, and chose a few questions that we feel encompass the major themes that we noticed. So thank you for having me and welcoming me to your community, this community that Nili has built and that you're all such active, engaged participants of. I'll give the floor to you, and then to you, Nili, Mom, and then we'll get started.
Okay, so I can't see any of you, unfortunately. So I'm basically looking at my screen, but I wanted to first thank Mia for the introduction. And thank you for joining me. Just few words before we start the questions is I just wanted to tell you that it's this time of pandemic, I realized how important it is for me to connect with you, to connect with everyone that is buying my clothes and connecting with me through Instagram, through social media. And I'm just so happy you responded to the Zoom meeting. I've been connecting through stories, through my personal stories on Instagram. I've been connecting through my cooking, and it's been a great experience for me to realize that I have a big community, and that I'm really hoping that you feel the same way, and that I can be reached, that I can be communicated with, and it's been fun. I've been talking to women through direct messages about my recipes, about things that I feel, and it's nice. I love it. Okay, Mia, you want to go to the first question? What happened? I cannot hear Mia.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Beautiful. So, like I said, we chose a few questions that we feel encompass the major questions that were asked. So the first question that I want to ask you is, at 55, how do I keep my casual style from looking too young? Any styling advice for older women?
So I am over 50, and I don't think that I dress any different than I was 25. And I think with this, with this point, what I'm trying to say is that dressing is nothing to do with age. It has to do with a language, with a communication of oneself, with its environment. And it's all about attitude. It's all about feeling comfortable, feeling confidence, feeling that you're wearing the pieces that are actually, that's the way you're seeing yourself. And my recommendation for any age is to wear the things that you feel comfortable, that serves you well, that makes you feel beautiful, that makes you feel comfortable and suits your lifestyle. You really need to go by your intuition. And I think that someone who is 55 by now knows how they feel about themselves and what makes them feel good. But if you need our help, we can certainly help you by asking you the question of what is it that you're doing, and what makes you day, and go by that. So I don't think the answer is by a specific clothing that I can mention, but I think it's more about a feeling. It's more about it's emotional. It's like, how do you feel in the clothes? And if you feel good in it, you can wear anything that you're can think of, as long as you feel comfortable. I remember when I was 17 and I used to go to these parties, and I used to just go out with a wife beater and a jeans, and my dad used to ask me, is this how you're going out? Is this how you're going to a party? And I said, yeah, I feel good. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't matter if you're 17 or 55, you just need to feel good.
I agree. Beautiful answer. So the next question that I have for you is, for those on a budget, what are one or two pieces you recommend I have in my closet for looking professional in business casual meetings?
Say again, Mia? For those who is on a budget, what are the two things? I actually have the question. What are one or two pieces you recommend I have in my closet for looking professional? So I think, in terms of spending money, it's something that I want to actually answer. The key is, when you buy something, is you really investing, and the key is really to invest correctly. I feel that, when sometimes, I feel the same way. If you're buying something and you're going to wear it a lot, then you invested right. And I think it's sometimes when I buy something and I'm saying, oh, I spent $400, I spent $500, but I think to myself, if I wore it 500 times, then it's basically I spend $1 on every time that I wore it. So it's well invested. So I think the key is to really buy the right things for you, the things that you're going to think you're going to use a lot. And again, it's not about which piece is it, but it's really, what are the things that you feel that you're going to get the most use out of it. And it depends in terms of the professional. It really depends what you're doing. If you're a lawyer or a doctor, obviously it will be very different than when you're an artist or like myself, that I can literally wear everything that I want. I think that there is a difference also in terms of like cities and cultures and societies of what is professional and what is not professional. So it's kind of hard to say, but I think that one of the things that I think fashion changed is that in the 80s, we were kind of dictated and we're told what is professional. In the 90s, and I think a lot thanks to Donna Karan, is that professional allowed to be a little bit more of self-expression and attitude. And today, in the 2000s, I think it's all about self-expression and attitude. So I think there are still rules, but there's much more space within the rules. And so I think even if you're wearing my clothes, if you're wearing a tailored pant or a silk top, you look professional, but you're not really all buttoned up. The fabrics that I use are very soft and very flowy. So you can look pretty professional with wearing a silk blouse, as I said, and a trouser. If you're an artist, you can look amazing and professional with a cotton pant and a t-shirt. So it all depends where you are.
Right, there, beautiful. We received a lot of questions about your jewelry, where you find your jewelry, how you choose to accessorize. Do you want to speak?
I actually wore this piece in particular for that question, although it's not a piece that I wear every day. I don't buy trendy jewelry. My jewelry is actually part of me. And there are certain pieces that I never take off. and pieces that I wear when I want to feel different. I have pieces that I got from my mom that passed to me through generation. I have pieces that I got from my husband, and those are the pieces that I never take off. I go to sleep with and I shower with. But sometimes I do feel like putting a different piece of jewelry, and it's usually in the summer when I wear less layers and then when I wear very simple things. And that's where I go to my collection. I've been collecting since I'm 18, different ethnic jewelry, a lot of American Indian, a lot of turquoises and silver. And I also been collecting a lot of kind of Moroccan, which is what this is all about, jewelry. And in the last collection, when we shot the Moroccan group, we shot it a lot with my jewelry. And I actually shared an image on my Instagram, and we can also share it later. But it's personal. Jewelry is very personal. When it comes to belts, I have about 150 vintage belts in my collection. And again, you know, it's something that I've been collecting for years. But I'm happy to say that I designed 2 belts that hopefully will come in September to the stores and to my web. And they're a duplicate of 2 vintage belts that I've been wearing for years. And belts, like jewelry, I feel like it's something that you have forever. You know, it's not something that you buy every season. It's not something that is trendy. It's something that once you have it, you will keep it forever, for life.
Very nice. My next question for you. Do you think COVID and everything that's going on right now is a good opportunity for changing the way we live and produce fashion?
Absolutely. I think in terms of living our life, I believe that all of us coming out of this with new priorities, new understanding of how we want to live our life and what do we want out of it. In my personal thoughts, you know, I definitely want to bring down a little bit of the intensity of my work. Working out of home, I realized that there's things that I can do out of home and just kind of bring down the amount of hours and stressful hours that I've been working in. So I'm sure everyone has their own conclusion and thoughts of how do they want to live their life after. In a way, I think this is what it's all about. I mean, the fact that we've been sitting and still sitting at home for so long, it's a rare opportunity. It's a lifetime opportunity when you actually have the time to think and not running without a stop. You know, it's a time to think, is this the life that you want to live? And for me, yes, this is the life that I want to live. I love what I'm doing. I love my life, but there's things that I'd love to change. And that's a great opportunity to implement it. When it comes to fashion, again, absolutely, there's going to be a lot of changes. In terms of the collection themselves, I think I'm going to design much smaller collections. I'm going to design less. I'm going to design less collection in the sense of how many times I show a collection. I think we've been designing too many clothes. I think we produce too many clothes. And I was actually thinking about it before the COVID, but now it even makes more sense. And I also think that the type of clothes that I'd like to design right now are things that are much more essential than things that are special in the sense of like luxury or novelty. I think that women have less money right now. And I think they, as some of the questions had pointed, the budget had shrunk and they really want to buy clothes that are serving them again and again. And not necessarily that piece that they're going to wear once and enjoy it and then never wear it again. So all of this I'm taking in mind. I think the way we show the collection will change. I mean, we've been, probably it's going to be less face to face. I mean, although I think in some places in the world where people are out of their home already, they seem to tell the stories that everyone is back to life and everybody is hugging and kissing and everybody is gathering. I don't know how fast it's going to happen in the States. So I'm ready for the next market to, when we show the collection, to show the collection either via Zoom or some kind of another technology, but not really face to face.
Cool. We received a bunch of questions about specific sizing and if I have this body type, what's the best piece for me? So the question that I have for you is, how can I keep the same general look of the Nili brand while being a size 10 to 12?
So again, I think wearing my clothes, it's more about an attitude, and I don't think it's necessarily about the body or the shape or age. We are making sizes 10, 12. We're also making 0 and 00, not to the entire collection. Again, because most of the buys, most of the people that are buying the collection are sizes 2, 4, 6, and 8. And obviously there are 10 and there are 12. So we're taking it in consideration as the smaller sizes. So all the core pants and all the essentials are coming in 10 and 12 and 0. And I think when it comes to pants, and when it comes to tops, I pretty much run a lot of my shirts oversized. So I think that's not an issue. I think the issue is more in the pant. So yeah, I think we can, once you come into our sessions or come to the store, we can show you what are the pieces that you can mix, and they are coming in larger sizes. And you can definitely keep the attitude, because I don't think, I happen to be lucky and I'm size 4 in the sense of everything fits me. But I think if I had less, I would still be able to, less of an option, I would still be able to maintain my style and my attitude. So I think it's just a matter of maybe a little bit of assistance from our end, what comes in those sizes and how do you style yourself. Also, by the way, in core pants, I have a selection of 6 to 10 different styles that each one of them fits a different body style. So I think we can help with that as well.
Cool. Speaking of pants, we received a lot of questions about the drop crotch pant. Mm-hmm. So the next question that I'm asking you is, how do you style the drop crotch pant?
Easy. I think that there's something about the low crotch that has a relaxed, free, nonchalant attitude to it. So the last thing I would want to wear it is like with high heels and all tied up. It's first thing, sorry, take some water. First thing, I would definitely wear it with flat shoes. And because it has so much volume at the bottom, I usually wear it with t-shirt or with like a kind of a slimmer NL shirt or a small sweater if it's in the winter. But definitely it's a very relaxed pant and needs something smaller at the top.
Cool. What are the key pieces you recommend for dressing during the summer that can transition, from work professional to summer casual activities? That was a question we got a lot of thinking about summer and spring and how to do work and.
So if you need to be dressed up for work a little more serious, then I think that the way I would treat it is I would wear one of my, if you can wear cotton pants, then I would wear one of the silk or the wool pants that I have, for the wool pants that I make are very thin and seasonless. So it's not like when I say wool pant, it sounds winter, but they're very thin and they're just super elegant and chic. The way I would wear it is I would wear a wool pant with a beautiful silk blouse. I would probably get 2 pair of wool pant and a bunch of silk blouses. And then when I go on a casual end, I would basically change my shoes to sneakers and replace the silk top with a t-shirt I actually love that look, like mixing a t-shirt with a dressy pant and a sneaker. To me, it's like really, really cool. And if you're coming from work, you just take off the blouse, slide into a t-shirt and put your sneakers on, and that's it.
I would like to edit my wardrobe down and create a capsule collection. What wardrobe staples would you recommend investing in?
Okay. So I'm basically going to describe with you, it's the same question as if I had to just pick 12 pieces or 14 pieces and that's all I can have. Those are the pieces that I would choose, me personally. And again, you know, one of the things that I haven't said, but I should say, that I pretty much designed for myself. My collection is my wardrobe. And I think being so tuned to what I need and what I want is actually translate into the collection and therefore serves so many of you. I think that's the difference also between woman designer and a men's designer. I really design for myself and I know what I need and I know how I feel in it. So when I say what I would take is probably what you would take as well. So the number one item that I would take would be a pair of jeans. I have a variety of jeans on my collection. I usually either I wear all of them, I should say. I wear the skinny, I wear the boyfriend, and I wear the Celia. The Celia is a new jean that you don't see yet. It will be coming out in July, and it's now my favorite jean. It's a very much of a 70s flare jean. But not to say that I'm giving up on the other two. It's just another option. So definitely one pair of jeans, either blue or black or both, ideally both. Few button-down shirts, you know, NL shirts. There's a good reason why my NL shirt was one of my very first items that I designed. I think that every woman should have a button-down shirt. It's classy, it's timeless, and wearing it back to your jeans, you always look classy. And of course, white. You should, at least one of them should be white. For me, it's also a blue and white stripe, a white shirt, a black shirt. I would also always have t-shirts in my closet. You know, I have the muscle tee. Personally, I love the muscle tee. I have it in every color and I have about 12 of each. But if you're on a budget, I would say buy one of each color, one gray, one white, and one black. One of my cotton pants. You can choose from French military to East Hampton, to Luna, to Paris, to Tel Aviv. And there's always new ones. I would have at least one or two, one maybe drop crotch and one maybe kind of skinny and more sexy. For the less casual, I definitely would take one of my wool pants. Now I love my Safi, but there is the Montana and the Leo. And blouses, obviously silk blouses. There's always a range of them on my collection. Silk pant, you know, there is the Brixton and there is the Ibiza. For the summer, I would buy the Ibiza. The Ibiza serves me at home, for dinner, for a party, all the way through. It's just, again, there's something very nonchalant about it. And it looks amazing with a t-shirt or a silk cami or anything you'll put with it. A blazer, a Diane blazer, you know, one is enough, you know, a black one, you know, I have variety. I have black, just small, short ones, long ones. The Diane blazer is one of my favorite right now. And of course, the cami dress. I mean, you need one dress. I'm not really wearing a lot of dresses, but the cami dress serves me really well for walking on the beach all the way to a cocktail party. So I think, I don't know how many, I made myself a list, but maybe there's about 10 to 12 pieces that I think everyone should have in their closet.
We also received many questions about career advice. There were a lot of young designers who wanted to hear about your experience becoming a designer. And so in general, what is your best career advice? I'm also curious.
My career advice is to stick to what you love to do and give it all your heart. that worked for me. And if there are any designers listening right now, more from a career perspective, you know, just stick to what you believe in. Never look outside, just look inside. And design the things that you really believe in, that you believe that you would wear, that you believe that one needs. And I think that will take you to the right path. Yeah.
Okay. So those are the questions that you and I chose and felt made the most sense to address here. But since we have some more time, if anybody who's listening wants to ask a question in the Q&A box, then I'll look through and choose a few that I think makes sense to answer right now. So while we're waiting for those questions, we already have a few. One is more of a kind of a, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so we're getting a question. What brand of glasses are you wearing?
These?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be very honest. So I have about 5 different pair of glasses, and these are my favorite. I bought them in a pharmacy in France, in Paris, and they're 19 euros. And it's I can later on communicate the brand, but basically, because if I take them off, I don't see anything, so it won't help me that I take it off. But I actually found them accidentally across the street from the atelier of Yves Saint Laurent. I was going to visit, and when I came out, I fell on a pharmacy, and I just was in it, and I saw these glasses, and I bought them. And since then, I've have like about 6 pairs of them, of the same ones, and that's it. You know, obviously I have glasses that I pay tons of money off, but this is my favorite.
There are so many amazing questions that I'm so excited to ask you. Well, oh my God, these are all fantastic. Okay, well, the first one is
how many women are on, do we know?
176 participants. Hi,
well, from where? I'm curious to know. Can we know? No, we don't know.
I don't know. They can chat to us. All right. There's so many things. One is handbags. Okay. What do you carry? But also something we've talked about.
So lately I've been carrying my own, and unfortunately I can't share it yet. But I designed like 5 handbags in a factory in Italy that unfortunately we closed, and the whole world had closed up, and I couldn't continue with that, but I already got my samples, and that's what I've been carrying. When I don't wear my own, you know, it's hard because I dress only myself. Beside the jewelry and the glasses and the shoes, it's all my collections. So it gets difficult. The shoes that I usually buy is either Celine or Saint Laurent, and I know you're going to tell me, okay, you can afford it, but I'm sure there is other options. Yes, I can afford it now, but I couldn't afford it years ago, and I found solutions. I want to say, yeah, sneakers. I wear Converse, and when it comes to bags, you know, it's hard. I wear a lot of vintage. I buy a lot of old bags, and I carry them till I make my own. So now I have my own, so you guys have to wait.
Okay. One of the questions that I like this woman asks, what can we do for you? How can we help keep your brand alive and support you?
That's so sweet. So I tell you how. Since the pandemic had started, I had constantly feel to give love and to give support. And I chose to do different things. We started with making masks, and we are giving all the proceeds, 100% of the profits, to NYU Langoon. So one way to help me is to buy a mask, and all that money will go to NYU Langoon. The other way to help me is I came up with a collection of sweatshirts and sweatpants, camouflage, where we printed over at Nili Love, New York. And 15% of the profits of these items go to NYU Langoon. So that could be another way. And the third way, which I just started, launched this week, which will be an ongoing way, I call it Nili Lotan Giving Back. And what it is, it's exactly for those women who can't afford me. What I realized that there's something about the way I wear clothes and the way I style myself and the way I design my collection. You know, so many women resonate to it and like it and can't afford it. And since I've been so connected on the Instagram, I read all the questions. I answer all the questions on Instagram, by the way, if you're wondering who's answering the questions. And a lot of the question was, this is great, but I can't afford it. I love it, but I can't afford it. So I was like, there's gotta be a way. So obviously one way to do it is, and I promise I will do that, I'm looking at how to lowering my prices on certain segments of my collection. The reason why my prices where they are is because I use the best materials and I make everything in the United States. So obviously by the time you get it, the prices are what they are. I don't do advertising, I don't do fashion shows and all of that to really save all that money so I can give you the clothes at the price that I can. But I do promise, because I think the times is calling for it. It's a certain segment of my business to see if there's any way that I can lower it without hurting my integrity. But the other thing that I did is I opened a new site, as I said, and it's called Nili Lotan Giving Back. And what it is, it's past collection at 50% to 70% off. And you can shop from today, everything that you ever wanted that couldn't afford it. And again, 10% of it is going every month to another cause that's close to my heart. The first month is going to be NYU Langoon, and every month we're going to choose another institution or whatever it is that I'd like, whether it's for women or children or whatever we will announce. And I think what's so great about this site, as a matter of fact, every day when I'm posting about it, I'm like, wow, I want it. Because my clothes are so timeless and trendless that I feel that everything that I design has its life forever. And so everything that you're going to buy now, you're going to buy it at 70 or 50% off. It will serve you for life. I promise, I guarantee. So I think another way of helping me and the world is going into the site and finding something that you like. And that would make me happy. Another way to help me is come and work for me. I need help. Anyone who's in the field and have something to contribute, contact me.
Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to styling, since that's why most of us are here. So one woman is asking, how do you make casual wear like your sweatpants or hoodies look put together as opposed to sloppy or too comfortable?
Yeah. So I like to mix things. I like to mix the sweatpant with a non-sweatshirt and the other way around. So the way to make it look kind of cool is you wear your sweatshirt with a pair of jeans or with the cotton pants, like whether it's the French military or the Paris or one of those pants. And the sweatpant I would wear with a t-shirt and a blazer, the Diane blazer. Now I'm coming up for pre-fall with maybe 7 different blazers, because the whole look of wearing a sweatpant and a blazer, it's my new thing. So I think you will find more, but even now you can find a blazer, put it muscle tee or the baseball tee and a sweatband, pair of sneakers, and you do not look frumpy. You look so cool. Throw a trench coat over it and go out to the street and you look very cool and pretty amazing.
Okay. There's so many questions about your shoes and how you style. And so I'll ask one of them, which is, what style of shoes do you like to wear with the cami dress?
With the cami dress, I either go barefoot, because I wear my cami when I'm on vacations, when I'm on the beach, when I'm on the house in the Ibiza, when I'm, so I kind of like to wear it barefoot. There's something about the dress that you don't even feel it. You're almost like wearing nothing. So to me, this is like the most natural form of wearing the cami. I always wear it when I wear it at night. I wear it with boots. In general, I love boots. I like boots for summer and I like boots for winter. I like a lot of Western boots, but I also have some like kind of Bob Dylan-ish boots, flat and short. I have some really cool Western boots, and I have some new ones. Yeah, that's what I wear. I don't like to wear the cami with a heel, meaning like a narrow heel or a high heel. It just takes it to another place. But if you go to an event or a wedding, then of course you would do that.
Cool. I like to wear mine with cowboy boots. Cowboy boots.
Yeah, of course.
Right now, but maybe. Which of your jeans are a light summer weight? What would you recommend for the summer? What kind of denim?
Skinny, mid-rise skinny. It's actually a new fit that we have. We started, I think, with Resort, and we're continuing with it. Those are the one for the summer that I wear. Although you would think skinny and it sticks to your body, but to me, weight-wise, this is the thinnest one, and I don't even feel that I wear it. But I'm a jeans girl. I wear a lot of jeans. And in this, the boyfriend, I mean, all of them. The boyfriend, there's an Auckland jeans that we offered for spring that I love. It's very 70s flair. It's very specific because it's flair. But that's a great summer jean. But I have to say something. The reason why I created this whole cotton pants is because I feel that sometimes we don't want to wear jeans, but we still want to look sexy and casual. And I think that's the whole purpose of my core pants. I call them core because they became core because now they're like the bread and butter in my business. And initially when I designed them, and by the way, they were the very first pieces that I've ever designed for Nili the collection. I was looking for a non-jean jean, meaning for someone who wears only jean. I was like, okay, enough. What can I wear if I'm not wearing jean? And so I created this French military, and I created the Paris and the Luna and the Tel Aviv, because for the summer, if you're in a really hot weather, like when I'm in Tel Aviv, I constantly wear the Tel Aviv and the Paris. So that's a good replacement for jeans if you're in a really hot place. New York, it doesn't get that hot because we're most of the time indoors, and the indoors are always air conditioned. So I don't really have that problem. But when I'm in Tel Aviv in 30 degrees Celsius, then I will wear my cotton pants.
Cool. What is the piece in your collection you can't stop wearing?
Oh, wow. There's few. My closet is pretty big. If I have to name 5, give me 5. It will be 2 pair of jeans. It would be the skinny and the Celia. It will be, let's say, the Celia in blue and the skinny in black. It would be my muscle tee in black. It will be 1 silk shirt in black, and it will be 1 blazer, the Diane blazer. And I'm cool. The white shirt I would sneak in too, but that's it.
There are a lot of questions about Los Angeles. If you're going to open a store in Los Angeles, shout out to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is on my radar. I know that we would do really well, and a lot of people in LA would love my clothes. I think I designed with this kind of weather in mind. I grew up in a beach town in Israel, and I totally get the weather, and it's not just the weather, it's the attitude, it's the easiness. It's not trying too hard. It's not, and I get it. And we are actually selling at quite a lot of stores in LA. Elise Walker is one of them. But I know that my next destination is LA. We actually are looking for a location right now. Although it doesn't seem like it's the right time to open retail stores, I feel that a store in LA would serve a lot of women in my community. and will make life easier. I think that a lot of the shopping today is done on the site, on the web. But there's something different about touching and feeling and seeing the whole brand in one place. It does make a difference. So yes, LA, we're coming.
Okay. What is bringing you delight during this time?
I hate to say it, but I actually love this time. I've been saying it on my Instagram, I've been saying it in all my social media communication. I think it brought a little bit of more sanity into my life. It brought a little bit more of an order into my life. Not to mention that I'm with my husband 24/7, that the chances that this would have happened in a normal life is very slim. My husband is a musician, he travels a lot, and I work from morning till night. So I hardly see home. And I think being at home 24/7, it brings me a lot of joy. I started to cook. I know some of you have been watching me cooking. I love it. I love cooking, and it gives me a lot of joy. I love being at home. I feel protected. I feel that I can do anything I want to do out of here. I work very hard. I work long hours. It's not like I was just telling my daughter last night that I didn't even get to read one book. And I don't say it with pride, but at the same time, it's because I've been literally falling out of bed. I have a routine. I exercise for 1 hour, and then I go straight into work. And then one conversation leads to the other, and before I know it, it's 10 o'clock. I put a lot of attention into the site, into our web. All this personal shopping is an idea that actually came up from this time. And I'm happy, I'm content. I think, it's not that I'm not looking forward for normal life, but I think that I've learned a lot, and I'm going to try to implement a lot of it. The only thing that I'm missing is my kids. I can only see my daughter and all my other kids on Zoom or speak on the phone. So I can't wait for the moment that I can hug them and kiss them and see them for real.
I'm waiting for that too. What was your inspiration for fall 20? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, fall 20. I mean, most of my collections, I don't have a specific theme. A lot of the references come from my own references, and very much so from late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s. I'm very much influenced by that time period. The music, the clothing, the personalities, the whole attitude of this era. So I create boards every season, and I put together a collage of images that inspires me. And very often it's the same exact pictures over and over again. And all it does, it kind of puts me in a frame of mind of that era and of that attitude and of that sexiness and yet coolness and yet nonchalant attitude of that era, especially musicians. And so it's the same thing inspired me for fall and pre-fall and spring. It's the same images. I mean, maybe I will share on my Instagram some of my inspiration boards so I can you be more graphic about it. But it's very much kind of a 70s chic woman that I'm seeing in front of me and what I would like to look like.
Mm-hmm. Someone is asking, how do you suggest finding or curating your own personal style, which you spoke to a bit at the very beginning, but maybe if you can elaborate on.
I think the best time to start actually is when you're in your 20s, like Mia. When you start to get to know yourself as an adult and see and experiment what you like, what you don't like. It takes some time. If you are older than 20 and you have less time to experiment, I think finding the designer that you connect to, because I think that's what makes us all different. I think that like if you'd ask me, sometimes I like to ask women, what other designer are they wearing? Because there is a common thread. You always gravitate to certain things. to specific style. So if you gravitated to me, that means that we share something. There's things that we share, that our view about aesthetic, our view about comfort, our view about design is shared. So if you find a designer or two or three that you like, I would really start experimenting. Or, I think what we're doing right now is when we have our personal shopping and you have actually a woman that you can talk to and you can share with her, this is my life. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an artist, I'm a pharmacist, I am whatever you are, and this is my life. So I get up in the morning and I wear uniform, or I don't wear uniform, or, I interact with lawyers or I interact with clients. So this is what I need. So then I would go and choose for you, show you like 3 or 4 different pants, trousers, and then you'll try them on, and then you'll pick the one that you look the best, feel the best, look the best. And of course we can help you, but you can also see in the mirror. And then put a silk shirt, try 5, try 6, and find the one that you feel the most comfortable. I very often I don't buy because it's my own, the same thing, the same silk shirt. I have three of them in my closet, because when I like something, then I like it, then I want to wear a lot of it. So I think you'll see that when you try and go category by category, go on your day, on your night, on your vacation, on your weekends, just choose 2 or 3 pieces for each one of this time that you like the most out of my collection or somebody else. And that would be a good start. And then you can start little by little adding things, because it gives us so much joy when we buy something new. I know for myself, I don't need more clothes, and yet every collection, I have a whole new rack coming into my apartment. So this feeling of new, feeling of being a new self, but within your world. So I think the best thing to figure out your own is to try. And, the only help that I could say is by category, go by category of your life. And we have plenty of girls to help if you need help.
Great. I guess I'll remind you now that after this, you should all be receiving an email with a link to book an appointment. And should you buy something in this first appointment, you'll receive 15% off. And also, Nili, we'll compile the garments that Nili referenced today and send them to you so you can see what she's talking about.
And thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. And I hope you connect with me on Instagram and direct messages, and any way you can. I am open, I'm available. I'd love to hear. One of the things that I love to do actually is to connect. And I respect that and I appreciate that. And I wish you all the remaining of us being at home, a time for growth. I hope you all take the time to think and to evaluate and to come up with the best version of yourselves. And I hope that you all, if you kept your jobs, it's great. If you lost your job, it's also good. You're going to find another one, and it's probably better. And I wish you all the best and health and joy and love. Goodbye.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for allowing me to be here and including me. Goodbye.